Hey everyone, this is the Empowered PCS, and we are here today to bring you a day in the neighborhood. I'm Madeline Fertile, and I serve Jacksonville, Florida.
Melinda Cruzy DePerna serving San Diego.
Christina Zimmerman serving Whidbey Island, Washington.
Noelle Baumgarten serving Eglin Air Force Base, Hurlburt Field in NAS, Pensacola.
Right on. So we want to talk about, like I said, day in the neighborhood. So we just want to give a quick explanation of what our city is like around the bases you might be based at. So Jacksonville, we've got a few bases, but realistically, we're a relaxed beach town with a cool downtown vibe in certain places. You've got sort of chunks of cool bars and restaurants with walkable towns. We've got suburbia, historic districts, beachfront condos, beach bungalows, basically however you want to live in Jax, we've got it.
Okay, well, San Diego is not a little beach town. We're a big beach town. It's about 3.5 million people in the county, and the county's the size of Connecticut. We've got bases from the very northern spot all the way down to the Mexican border. So I picked two communities that are really popular with our people just to kind of focus in a little bit today. So the first one was a section of Oceanside, and Oceanside is the quintessential old school beach town, except it's 175,000 people. So it's a city with a lot of diversity of its own. It goes from beaches all the way to inland, from where you don't need AC to where you do. We've got multiple gates. It's primarily Camp Pendleton. And so you can have a little bit of everything. I love the community because it's got beaches, harbor, pier. It's got a great craft brew scene. It's got a lot of restaurants. And I think I mentioned it's got a lot of economic and ethnic diversity. So I think that's kind of cool. If we go all the way to the southern end, we have the community of Chula Vista, which is even bigger. And I have to check my notes because it's one of the fastest growing communities in San Diego, 270,000 people. So both of those are cities of their own, one on the north, one on the south. And a lot of our people who are stationed in Coronado and at 32nd Street, which is also known as Naval Base San Diego, a lot of the people in those areas end up in Chula Vista because you can get newer housing for less money. And it's very much, though, even though it's 270,000 people, it's very much suburbia. A lot of strip malls, but yet still only 10 to 15 minutes from the beaches, depending on where you live.
Great. Well, Whidbey Island is obviously an island, so we have kind of a different community feel here. It's very small town feel, good family atmosphere. It's very safe in general. We have very low crime, but you're still close to everything. So you're just a ferry ride away from Seattle, and you're just a bridge trip away from Bellingham, Mount Vernon, Burlington, and that's where all of your shopping, your nightlife will be. On the island, we have a lot of kind of harbor towns, and like I said, they're very small. So Oak Harbor is going to be the one that's closest to the base, and that tends to be where most military families want to end up because it's literally maybe a 5-minute drive to work to the base. So we have a lot of family-friendly walking areas, parks, beaches with lots of driftwood and treasures for the kids to find, or dogs, very dog-friendly as well. And then you have Coopville, which is just below Oak Harbor on the island, and it's only about a 15-minute drive to the base, but it still has that same community feel. And it's funny because Oak Harbor and Coopville kind of trade off on parades. There's a parade for everything, and it's about 10-minute long parade most of the time. We have a few big ones that last maybe an hour, but the kids tend to love them. And again, they're very family and dog friendly. And so the towns will trade off. So Oak Harbor will do St. Patrick's Day, and Coopville will do the other one. So it's kind of neat. You can bounce around between the towns. We have a lot of local type festivals that are a lot of fun, like Mussel Fest, where they have cook-offs for clam chowder and mussels, and lots of farmers markets. So it's a very rural kind of feel on the island, but you do have some shopping. Not much. We've got like a Walmart, and then a lot of local shops that are fabulous. So good restaurants. And then the median price point in Oak Harbor has actually dipped slightly this month down to about $350, $375. And the median price point in Coopville is still hovering around $4 or $375. So, but yeah, it's a great place to live.
Okay. And I'm in Navarre, Florida, which is a sleepy little beach town, very family friendly. Not a lot going on as far as restaurants and shopping, but like Christina mentioned in Whidbey, we're very close to Pensacola and Destin, which has all your restaurants and great shopping. So Navarre is a very safe area, very low crime, and just a great place to be with your family and hang out on our beautiful white beaches and enjoy the beautiful emerald waters. And that's it.
All right. I think I need to interject. I think I missed the median part. And I'm going to say both communities, we're looking at medians in the mid 600s for single family homes and in the low to mid 3s for attached. I think that's really important for anybody coming to San Diego, that they understand where they live is going to be governed by what they qualify for. And that's just the reality. And we've got such variety. I picked those two communities because they're popular, because a lot of the military families can afford at those price points as long as their expectations are realistic. And it's a great quality of life. So there's a little bit of that sunshine tax going on here.
I'm going to have to take you back off of that because I might have to compete with Noel here on affordability. I don't know what your median price point is in Navarre, but we're in Jacksonville about $255, and you can get a single family home for about $170. So it's really affordable here in Jacksonville. Oh, wow. What about you, Noel?
Yeah, our median price point's about $265 for, a 3 to 4 bedroom home around 2,000 square feet.
Yeah.
I think I need to be clear. We can get you in a property. So our single service members, I can usually get them in, and I can do lower rents. Once you start to put in families and you need more than 2 bedrooms, it gets more complex. So that's the cool part about us being as big as Connecticut, that you will end up trading commute for affordability. Not under $200,000. I can't do it.
So it sounds like you guys all have options, though. You have ranges that people can choose from. Definitely. How about new construction? On the island, we have a few projects that are trying to get approved that would have kind of a median price point around $350. So they might have some options that are lower than that, but we're waiting to see how that all pans out. But since it is kind of rural, we don't have a lot of housing options in general. Last week, to find anything under $300,000, I think there were only 4 available, one of which was a tear down, and the other 3 weren't much better. So what does it look like where you're at as far as new construction goes?
So in Navarre, we've got tons of new construction really all across the Emerald Coast here. They've really been doing a lot with new neighborhoods, and the median price on new construction is, between $300,000 and $400,000. Just depending. We do have a couple of neighborhoods that are between the $250,000 and $300,000, and Navarre is experiencing a lot of growth. So we're really set to explode here. So a lot of changes coming in the next few years, and we'll continue to see values go up.
Yeah, we've actually got quite a bit of new construction in Jacksonville as well. Most of the new construction is going up in the north side, so near the Jax International Airport. It's actually a great commute for both NAS Jax and Mayport, so a lot of military families end up choosing to live there, but you can find new construction as low as like $210 to $230, and then some of the nicer ones go $300, $350. But you even sometimes go St. Johns County, which is south of Jacksonville. You'll get new construction there too, and that's sort of a lot more open land, so the developers have a lot more option to build there. If you're inside the city, there's not so much new construction because the city's pretty much already spread out, which might be similar for San Diego. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're interesting for new construction. So if you look at downtown, which some of our service members like, and that's a very urban, hip kind of environment, there is a lot of new construction going on. There was some urban blight that happened, which kind of opened things up for the new construction. The negative is that those new construction projects all over most of San Diego come with high homeowners association fees. In the city, it's high homeowners association fees. In other places like Chula Vista, which one of the reasons it's really popular is because of all the new construction. People like that they don't have a lot of work to do and a lot of remodeling to do. They've also got something we have called Mello-Roos, which is why you need an agent that really can look at your numbers, because that can add to the cost pretty rapidly. In Chula Vista, the new construction goes from around the median values on up well into the millions. So there's a lot of variety. Now, Oceanside was pretty built out, yet we have a few pocket construction areas. And there's actually a couple communities there that I love because they don't have Mello-Roos and they're in the best schools. So it's kind of a unique skill set to cover an area so big, yet to understand what the pluses and minuses are. So that's something that is really important in such a big area because there's so much variety.
Great. Yeah, that's important. And one of the reasons that we're doing this video is because moving into an area like that, you wouldn't know any of that stuff, and you wouldn't know that you have different options that are close by and how varied it is depending on where you pick to move. So hopefully we're bringing that information to everyone to where they can see we've got options. If you're going to any of our areas, make sure to check out our individual pages because we're going to be covering each of these topics in more detail focused on our specific bases. So if you are coming to Whidbey Island, watch my page because I'll be doing another video saying, okay, we've talked about the lifestyle, a day in the neighborhood, median price point. Let's kind of zero in on more of the details for you so you can choose what to do. But yeah, check out all these ladies. They're a wealth of information, and we hope that we can help your next PCS be a lot smoother.